Alright, Yatterman-2. This is a super fun character to play as. She's not high damaging, but she has tons of mix, and the playstyle for her is to keep pressure going on and try to get as much resets or as much combos as possible, especially when you have the robot out. I'll talk about that in a minute. So Yatter-2 is a great character when she has bar. If she has no bar, then she's gonna struggle until she gets a bar. You would wanna probably save up and have robot out there. I personally think that she's best in the back, so that your point character could be the battery and have her gain all the bar when she comes in and just throw out robots like crazy. Or if you could have a team makeup that has her on point, that extends her combo and builds a lot of bar. So like, for example, I would say one of the best teammates for her when she's on point is Chun-Li. Not necessarily doing a lot of damage, but the point of Yatterman-2 is that she needs to build bar for more robots. The main player that makes this team work is Mothman. If you want to see this team makeup with the Yatterman-2 on point, you definitely want to see some Mothman work. Let's start with just her key normals. Of course, she has a crouching light kick that's pretty good, but her standing jab is great for catching jumpers or like ground the air people. As you can see, like, you could get a couple before you could confirm into your combo and launch them and whatnot. But yeah, standing jab's pretty good. Her other normals are kind of like filler, but her crouching B is definitely needed for those ground the air confirms. It doesn't push them so much away like the other normals do. I tend to kind of skip the standing medium, but it's there if you want to use it. It just pushes away a lot. So you see how like I whiffed there on my crouching C. Sometimes it hits, but it depends on how close you are. Because standing B, you see, is actually 3 hits, and it pushes them away. Her crouching down forward B is a slide kick that's pretty good. It low profiles and goes a good distance, but you can't combo from it naturally. You have to use Baroque, so I would probably only throw this out when I have Baroque or I have a robot on screen, just so I can get the low hit from a far distance. Or if you just want to travel full screen by doing it a couple of times, it's pretty good. Just don't do it up close. You're probably going to get punished on block or hit even, because this move has a lot of recovery. So last, her C's, they're pretty good. See, they're great combo fillers, but the thing about these is they are chargeable. They are unblockable when they're fully charged, her standing and her crouching C. And they're both special cancelable, not when they're fully charged, but of course they're Baroqueable, so you could get a free unblockable incoming. And they're dash cancelable, so you could kind of get away with some gimmicky stuff when you're trying to apply some pressure. Say for instance, if I'm doing all this stuff and then I want to dash in and do it again, or if I want to dash away and then go for overhead, that's something that I tend to do. Her jumping normals, it's all about her jumping B, the Yatter spin. It's kind of equivalent to Yatter-1's Shoryuken motion in the air, but hers is great because it's a normal and it's multiple hits, it lingers, and it's jump cancelable. So you could keep the pressure going in, you could catch people in the air, especially if they're super jumpy. You could kind of just linger it out and confirm from there. But yeah, it's all about the jumping B. That's one move you really want to abuse, both offensively and defensively. Now, with her regular specials, the Yatter spin. This, I don't know what exactly it's called. I just call it the Yatter spin because, like, it's the wand. It lingers. It's got a great hitbox. It's super fast. I don't know if that's like 2 frame, 3 frame. I forget the exact frame data, but it's ridiculously fast. It reflects projectiles. Let's see if I could get the opponent to throw a fireball at me. Throw a fireball, Morgan. I don't have any input. Oh, there we go. I did it. Yeah. Oh, and that fireball that you return actually has more durability than the initial fireball that's thrown. So that's a pretty crazy property. But for the fact that it staggers the opponent, it makes it a great combo filler. because you get to continue your combo after that and confirm from it. Since the recovery is actually pretty fast on it, I like to actually throw it out there a lot and hit confirm from it if the opponent runs into it. You can mix up the timings with the A, B, and C. The A is usually the one you want to use because it recovers the fastest. But just to confuse your opponent, if you're like, full screen and they're jumping around trying to come at you and they expect just the timing of A, sometimes I throw out the C just to make it linger more. But if I have Baroque on deck, I could stop my recovery. But for the fact that I'm throwing it out there, trying to catch them, see if I could get them to get hit, I could combo right after. And it does pretty good on incoming opponents as well. Let's see if Morgan will jump at me. Yeah, see, that's like the usual confirm right there. All right, her next special is pretty good. We put out the heart on screen. Sometimes it's a star. Let me look up the actual names of these things so I'm not just saying. Okay, I guess this is called the Yatter swing, but it throws out a projectile depending on what button you press. It has different angles. The A is like the DVD screensaver where it bounces like all corners. The B is the straight horizontal. This is the one that I use the most, especially on incoming. And the last is the C. So that one, it takes a while. It doesn't linger as much, but it does go up and down, so you can catch people at super jump height. But for the most part, I like using the B since it covers like a whole horizontal section that my opponent can't really do anything. Keeps the pressure. Unfortunately, this move doesn't chip, so her only chipping move is the mash, which this move is alright. I don't use it too much. It does build meter when you're in the air, so you can like keep alternating from B to C. That's a standard thing that I do. But yes, it does chip, so like it's something I would just throw out when I just want to get like a couple of pixels of chip damage in. When I have robot out and I want to like create some chip before a robot actually does its attack, stuff like that. It's I would say it's the least useful of the special that she has, but that doesn't mean it's useless. And last but not least, we have the little Yatter dash. There's kind of like a built-in mix-up with this. However, there is like a little startup on this. First, you do core circle forward, and there's like a little dash. A being the shortest, C being the longest. So strength does matter, and then you follow up by pressing A, B, or C. Now, if you press A, which I actually don't know of a use for that besides the range, it just goes horizontal. However, all the sauce is with the B. It's overhead. Now, of course, that calls for an instant like mix-up for your block strings or whatnot. Let's say if my opponent, of course, is guarding, you put your opponent in a state where they're going to have to guess where to block the overhead. So you could use that in your block string, and you're going to need Baroque to confirm from it unless you're using assists or whatever. Yeah, like it's a great thing to throw out there even without Baroque when you have Robot out. Again, we'll get back to Robot in a bit. The C follow-up is what you want to use when your opponent is getting keen on throwing out the overheads all the time, because the C is a low. It's slower startup, but it's a low. So if they get keen to blocking the overhead, then throw out that C. So the main purpose of throwing out the mix-up is to make your opponent guess high-low during a block string. But fortunately, both of those follow-ups, the high and the low, they both combo naturally. So what I mean by that is that you actually don't have to change up your combo on block or hit. So if you're getting a block string and you go for the high-low, you could go for the follow-up if it lands. Or if you're already landing the combo, you don't have to change up your input. You see, it's still combos. Alright, one thing I would like to mention though is the C follow-up does OTG. It does like a little bit of a fault. Like if you want to add that extra damage, it's not super necessary, but I would say when you get that knockdown, you want to add like a little bit of damage. You could just do the follow-up, but again, it's not necessary. Let me, if I can first freaking land it. There. Okay, I hit it. Alright, before I talk about the main super that you're going to be using with her, let's just throw out her her star super, her little charge up. Sometimes it's a heart, sometimes a star. I forget when to star, but it's not that useful. So save your bars for using the robot. It could be something every now and then that you would use, because you could charge it, or you could just throw it out raw. It's just core circle forward super, and like it just lingers and stays out on screen. That's something you probably want to finish your opponent off when you want to cover the screen with more stuff. But I would say only do it after you've activated a robot. So if your opponent's like on pixel health and you want to chip them to death, use that stuff. A semi-gimmicky thing that you probably could kill your opponent with if they're not too aware is to just charge the super. And if they come and attack you, let's see if I can get them to hit me. It actually falls on them. So that could be something you could like hit your opponent with. However, if they do grab you, they're invincible. But if they grab you on their recovery, they are going to get hit, because in this game, you can't block instantly after a grab recovery. So let me see if I can make an example of that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so Morgan can't block there. Even though I was holding back, she's not able to block on her first frame of a grab. So that would be something if the Morgan was trying to go for the kill on Yatterman-2. But if she's gonna die, if she has little health, she's going to die if she does that. All right, so let's talk about the main reason to use Yatterman-2. It's the robot. Some people call this Mini Honda. It's a name that the communities have adopted a little bit over the years. I mean, robot is just fine. I believe his real name is Oma-chan. I don't know if somebody wants to correct me, but you know, we don't really call him. We call him Robot Mini Honda, whatever. But he throws out headbutts, 100 hand slaps. If you're a Marvel 3 player, it's very similar to Kitty Helper. However, it flies, so it's going to catch you even if you're at super jump range. So it's a great thing to have out there. Also, a reason why Yatterman-2 sort of breaks the rules. She doesn't have to worry about Mega Crash too much because the robot's got her back. It's the homie. In the usual case in TvC, you want to have Mega Crashes on deck, so you're not getting comboed. However, if you're getting comboed, the robot can save you. Not only is it a great pressure utility, it'll help you out when you're getting hit, so it's great defensively as well. Of course, it'll go away after a little bit, so that's why you want to like call a robot, land combo, and build more meters. Like this is why keeping pressure is super great with Yatterman-2, and it's super annoying when your opponent can't really do anything without having to worry about the robot. So it's rinse, repeat, call a robot, go for landing hits, go for some resets, because robot will save you if you're getting hit. And then once robot goes away, call another robot after you land your combo. Now on the downside of calling a robot, he actually kind of ruins your bread and butter combos when you're doing stuff. You see right there, like say I was trying to go for my regular combo, he stopped Morgan's hit stun, so it kind of like had to reset. You know, it still gives me more opportunity to try to mix, but you just have to be wary of when you have your robot that he could ruin your combos. So just to reiterate that, when you have a robot out, you're not necessarily looking to do your regular combos because you're going to keep dropping it because of robot. So you're actually going to be looking for more constant resets so you can maximize on your damage output. And you could go for riskier overhead mix-ups because robot's got your back if you start getting hit. But once robot goes away, that's when you want to start looking into doing your regular combos so that you could build meter and set up for another robot call. So for the most part of a match with Yatterman-2, you're going to be constantly calling out robots and burning meter with that. Endgame is different because her level 3 is one of the strongest in the game. So if you're trying to close out the match and you got the resources on deck, it's pretty easy to confirm when you have a Yatter spin in there, or just like a basic bread and butter combo into the Yatter spin. Just activate her level 3, which is quarter circle back. And it's one of the only mashable supers in this game, so I'm going to try to mash it all the way. I got my custom textures on it, so we're going to see some Fruit Loops, okay? But I'm going to try to mash to my hardest. If you can mash more, that would be great, but so let's see how much I could get the mash in here. That wasn't too great of a mash, but you can see I definitely did like around 60% on Morgan there. So yeah, it's definitely a great level 3, and it's easy to confirm, and the fact that it's one of the only mashable supers in this game. Using 3 bars in this game is definitely taking away a huge chunk of your resources, so you better make sure that you hit with it if you're going to try to go for it, or if it's going to kill. But if you want to play it on the safe side, if you have meter, don't go for a super or a level 3 super, go for more robots. You're good. Definitely, if you get the correct guesses and hits, you can accumulate the damage that the level 3 would do and get more meter doing it. So I can't emphasize enough. Keep calling robots. That's really what Yatterman-2 is really great for. Alright, that's pretty much it for the Yatterman-2 breakdown. Let me know if you guys have any more questions or if you want any more help. Also, let me know if this format works for everyone. I'd like to make more of these. I just would like to have people's feedback if this really helps out. So thanks for watching.